Welcome to the Alternative Acoustic Podcast. I'm Chris of the Chris Woods Groove Orchestra, and this podcast is brought to you by Ibanez UK. In this conversation, I chat with Holly Poland of Candyrat Records. If I'm honest, I've really struggled with how to introduce this episode. I guess because it's an emotional one. It's emotional for a variety of different reasons. One of them because it's Candyrat Records, and for a guitar player, an acoustic guitar player, percussive acoustic guitar player, yeah, I have an emotional attachment to Candyrat Records, like many guitarists and many non-guitarists who just love the music on there. And some of you will know some other elements as well that are perhaps more personal to do with Candyrat, which we'll get into in a moment. Now, for those of you who don't know Candyrat Records, I'll try and give you a summary and somehow, hopefully, I'll come relatively close to expressing the incredible things that they have achieved. So, Candyrat Records is, well, a record label, predominantly kind of YouTube-based, I suppose, and they released a lot of fingerstyle guitar music. The timing of this, I think, is really important. So that iconic video, Drifting, by Andy McKee, was through Candyrat Records. And actually, if you've spent much time listening to and probably watching fingerstyle acoustic guitar, you'll probably find that many of those artists that you were enjoying were coming through Candyrat Records. I think it's fair to say that Candyrat changed music, because whilst fingerstyle guitar obviously existed before, through that platform they took it to a new global level. Because of their videos, all of a sudden, so many more people knew about fingerstyle guitar and knew about percussive acoustic fingerstyle techniques. It encouraged new players, new compositions. There's also another element of emotion attached to this conversation, and that is the very tragic loss of Rob Poland. Now, anyone who was an artist working with Candyrat Records, or a listener who had any involvement or engagement with the label in any depth, I think would have known Rob Poland, would have known his name, or even enjoyed interactions with him. And of course, this episode is a conversation with Holly Poland, who ran Candyrat Records alongside Rob and continues to run Candyrat Records to this day, and of course was Rob's wife. So the insight we get into Candyrat is not just an economic one or a musical one or a cultural one, it is a personal one. In fact, the episode or the conversation begins with Holly explaining to me some of the immense challenges that Rob faced. So it's a big one. It's a really powerful conversation. I'm going to sign off my intro with a thank you to Holly for giving us an insight into a real living, breathing musical community that is the perfect balance of music, business, and family. Do you mind talking about that as well, Holly?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm kind of a big advocate for mental health. So he had some mental health, kind of terminal mental health issues.
Okay.
That was a struggle for many, many years. He was good at, he just had some struggles. I knew that, but we kind of kept it on the down low for the most part. He's still Rob.
Okay.
So yeah, it got a little too much, and yeah.
So I didn't realize any of that, Holly, at all. I don't know if people really would.
No, it's not something that I some people know who knew him really, really, really well, but he had just a mental health that caused him to like kind of lose his sense of Rob. He was
Yeah.
kind of in a different world at times. So I was very good. I had been with him since 1989. So we were married 33 years and together 35. So I knew him well, but we just kind of kept him safe. So he was still doing his best.
And was music like a therapeutic thing within that, or?
Um, well, I would say I'm actually a musician. He was a businessman,
Uh-huh.
but liked music. He did play guitar for a few years in high school, and that's kind of how Candyrat started. We both love music. We shared that. I played piano and trumpet, but I still play.
Uh-huh.
He was a hobbyist, but he was very good at guitar. He found Don Ross about, I think it was 2001, and he just started playing No Goodbyes by Don Ross, the fingerstyle. He found out about fingerstyle through Don Ross, and so for our 10th wedding anniversary, we went up to Halifax, Canada, and saw 5 Don Ross shows. This was my first like experience with fingerstyle. I just cried like a baby because I was so moved how cool it was. And we ended up meeting Don Ross at the shows up in Canada. And so we're like, if you ever need someone to set up some shows in America, we'll help. Just out of just because we liked him. So we ended up doing that in 2002, and he performed at the Michigan Fingerstyle Guitar Festival. And we just kind of did that on and off for a few years. And then Rob actually he was an entrepreneurial business guy. He had a different company that he ended up leaving. It was a Microsoft System certification education class or school, basically, that got
Okay.
bought out by investors, but it got a little too big for his britches. So that he had a year off in 2004 and started Candyrat. I was a dietitian at the time, so I'm in the medical field. So yeah. And then in 2005, when Andy McKee's drifting hit, all of a sudden we were getting like all these orders and he couldn't do it by himself. So he begged me to do it. And I'm like, I don't want to work with my husband, but and we had young kids still. So, but I started just helping. And then in 2000, I just started working for Candyrat. So we had different roles in Candyrat. He had his name on everything and did the videos and artists like contracts and stuff, but I did all the CD fulfillment and customer service and
Wow.
distribution. Yeah. And then I also worked for IGN too, International Guitar Night Tour. I did the
Ah,
CD fulfillment for the 3 months, and then we did the tours in 2009 and 2008 with 50 shows around the US. So we did random ones around UK and stuff too. So yeah, that was fun. Fun
wow.
time. That's when we kind of like, I remember saying to Rob, we're not going big. We're going to keep it small because the last time was a nightmare being bought out by investors with the last business. So I'm like,
Oh, right.
let's keep this family, and true family. So when the artists had their first tour, there was a lot of like competition, and we're like, enough of that. We're all working together. We're gonna support each other. And since then, it's just been wonderful community. You know, I feel like everybody kind of supports each other,
Mm.
which is so nice.
Do you kind of do you really have an understanding? Because I'd imagine it's quite hard in your position to know the effect that Candy really had on music. Do,
Um,
do you think you really
I
get that? Like,
I think I do, because I'm still so passionate about it, and I'm always fighting for it, and I'm trying. I'm not a business person by profession, but I've also been doing it for 20 years, and
mm,
I've also been a manager, retail manager, so I have experience with managing people. So that piece of it, but for me, like I'm also a musician, so I kind of feel like the connection I have is that all of you are sharing a story. Like instrumental music to me is the most. I'm gonna cry probably. Just so you know, I'm very passionate and get moved easily.
Do it.
But like instrumental to me is so special because it's like speaks to everyone. There's no lyrics to tell you the story. You create your own story from the artist's heart and soul that they created this piece of music for you to connect to. And it doesn't, I mean, we have people like we're talking right now. You're in the UK, I'm in Wisconsin, the family we built, it feels like, and because I love the music as well, I think it's such a place to be, to support what you guys do. I'm not a prodigy. My first nature isn't a businesswoman, but I know how to do it. And I love you guys. I love all of you so much. I love the music, and I love the customers. We have customers and fans that have been with us. You know this. You're an artist. You know this. But it's just like, I do know, but I'm a very humble person. So I don't like to be the shiny one, like I told you. I kind of let Rob have his name on everything and he's the shiny one. So it's like sometimes I have to I'm always like, we're a team. I can't do what you do. And you can't, we help each other, right? I can do the business side and promotion and all that. I can't be a prodigy guitarist though. So
but I think that's so well, my understanding is that's so unique to hear from as a philosophy from a label anyway. But everything was so unique about Candyrat in the sense of even being a label that was predominantly based on YouTube, which I know that now is a thing, like in dance music, and obviously it's still very much a thing. But at the time, that was just like,
I know we started on MySpace.
Right.
I'm old.
Same. It's all right.
No, you're not.
But do you know what I mean? It just seems so it's such a unique thing. It's like it's a record label, but it's a solely online thing. It's a family thing, and it really changed. Like I wonder if Candyrat hadn't existed, if you and Rob hadn't have gone through those processes, whether fingerstyle would have emerged in the way it did, because it wasn't such a prolific thing before. I mean, it just unquestionably.
And there's still so much growth to be had. I still run into people and what they think it's finger picking or whatever. They don't really. Even my family, like that's their job. They didn't really, but now they've kind of been supporting me more just because it's been a rough year losing my partner of 35 years, so, and my partner in Candyrat. So, because we had split duties, so a lot of the stuff I did, he didn't know how to do, vice versa, because we started it together. So we were very yin and yang. He was a very introverted businessman, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
But I'm more of a people person.
So how have you sort of managed that then? Like,
I mean, the thing was, because of the way it started without a lot of money, like I can tell you the story about like drifting, for example. That was recorded in our dining room with me doing homework with the kids, making dinner for McKee, and doing his laundry. And that we had artists from all over the world living with our kids and us. It was just like it was this screen in our dining room. I hear the master sometimes, and you could hear Rob futzing around because he didn't know how to record. It was just like, and it just, it kind of just started it, because we weren't gonna make it, until that we started getting those viral videos. So back when you could sell CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so wonderful. I think it's so wonderful that Angie McKee is like this flagship. Sorry.
I know. Oh yeah, kind of. John Ross was the original. Um,
Of course,
then it
but that
was.
drifting thing, right?
Oh
Obviously, just.
yeah, that yeah
But I also just think with
yeah
Andrew's ethos and the way he talks and stuff, just
yeah.
yeah,
He was a different. He
seems to
was a
really
young
marry.
guy. He was a young guy who was a teacher. He had his Christine was his girlfriend. No kids. He was living in Topeka. Just taught guitar lessons. A very humble guy. Just hanging out at the Poland house with the kids. I mean, I always tease him because I'm like, I washed Andy McKee's underwear. He did his laundry. He's just like, oh, don't say that, but I do. No,
That's
but yeah.
amazing. They
And then we
literally
have
changed music.
I mean, it's so beautiful to me after losing Rob too, because I got very nostalgic, and it's like how much all of the artists have been. My family was going through loss, so the people that really helped me, keep me lifted were all of you. So I
Wow.
feel very grateful and blessed because I had built. Everyone called me Mama Candyrat, and I had that role. And all of a sudden, now I have to be boss lady Candyrat too. So I'm trying to be both because that's who I am. So I know when to well, this is professional Holly, and this is Mama Holly. So because like Gareth Pearson, for example, like he's from Wales. He lived with us for a year and
Wow.
then months at a time. And so he's like my adopted child, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, he grew up with my kids.
Wow.
So it's a very, very family. So when I talk about that like that, everybody is. I mean, it's a unique business.
Mm. I think
Yeah.
what was unique as well is how you guys started to open things up as well. I think I actually can't remember the
Mhm.
year that I did something with you, what year it was, because I've obviously lost like 5 years for COVID and stuff.
12
But
maybe?
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's shocking. That's so long ago.
Maybe it was 2 years later. I kind of Chris was.
But the Alternative Acoustic Podcast is proudly supported by Ibanez UK. Now, the Ibanez V Series has long stood for high quality at seriously affordable prices, available in all kinds of finishes, shapes and sizes. Now, I got to try all of them out recently, and a particular favourite of mine was the incredible Mini, which is the perfect travel size guitar. I mean, it sounds way bigger than it looks. The entire V series and all Ibanez guitars are available now at Gear for Music, so make sure you go and check them out. I think you guys opening it up to have guest artists and stuff, I think is again that's like quite an unlabely thing to do. Do you know what I mean? That's like
I've always done all the submissions, and then we like kind of weeded them out. And I'm like, there's so many good musicians. So I actually was the one that started the guest artist program.
okay.
My name's not, but my name wasn't on YouTube. My name wasn't on anything, so people don't know all the stuff that I did. Rob did, but I didn't. It was he started it, so his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of my jobs. So guest artist program. I love it.
It's just really positive. It's just sort of
Yeah,
acknowledging the wide range of awesomeness.
yeah. I've had to tweak the vision because Rob's vision wavered in the last couple of years. He didn't find any new people, or it wasn't really he couldn't handle it with the mental health stuff.
Okay.
I because I was caring for him in a way. I wasn't. I feel bad sometimes because I wasn't really on top of Candyrat. So in the last year, I've had to really like update programs,
Right.
update like what we're doing to keep up with what's going on now. Like we weren't doing before he passed, we weren't doing any sort of stories or reels or
Yeah.
shorts or any of that, which is huge now.
Okay.
Yeah. So taking it one step at a time as I learn.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, the internet kind of changed in those short 2 years of
Yeah.
where you're
And
caring
yeah.
for him, really.
And we still have, hundreds of thousands of CDs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out exactly. We still sell them, but to ship to you, for example, a $15 CD will cost $25 in shipping in
Yeah.
USD. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. So, yeah, it's changed a lot. I wish if streaming's, I mean, for us, because internationally, we go through a company, a distribution company, and then that's yeah, Orchard. So it's like there's multiple streaming services other than Spotify. I don't know what you guys do. You use Spotify mainly in the
What
UK?
to listen? I think Spotify and Apple Music are probably the most
Apple Music, yeah, yeah.
popular.
Those there's quite a few others though that are, but yeah,
Yeah, of course,
yeah,
of course.
hmm
But yeah, income
the one,
streams have changed basically for the
yeah.
label and
Yeah, and yeah, it's in a lot of like learning, doing Google AdSense and MetaSuite and all that. It's different. But I'm watching a lot of the analytics now, which I don't think Rob was able to do for the last few years. So, it's just we bumped it up in the last probably 6 months. So yeah,
okay.
so
You're sort
yeah.
of bringing it back together, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
it's going upwards now. Not CDs, but of course, but yeah,
yeah.
digital and views and stuff. So
Wow.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, just changing it up. I'll tell you my love for music. I just got my Spotify Wrapped.
Oh yeah.
I listened to about 80,000 minutes of Spotify this year.
Wow.
So approximately 1,400 hours.
And it's all Andy McKee and Don Russ.
Yeah, all of it. All of it. Yeah, my listening age was 27 and I'm 54. So.
Interesting. Does that mean you listen to a load of pop, or is that sort of me just?
Yeah, I dance, so
Okay.
I listen to a lot of like hip hop stuff. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And I have Rob and I have a granddaughter, Bella,
Wow.
who is 7, and then my brother he's only 3 years younger than me, but he has young kids. Our kids are 21 years apart.
Oh wow.
So I had kids at 23, and he had kids at almost 40. So I have like 4 others that are young, like 10. Like you're a kid age, 10, 10, 9, and 7.
Right.
So yeah,
Lots of energy.
So lots of K-pop Demon Hunters and Disney music too from them.
Oh wow.
We have our disco party. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, while we're talking about young people as well, I think you've actually seen. Have you seen any sort of Candyrat customers, if you like, become artists later on because guys and girls learning, learning an Andy McKee track and then
we have them on the label. Nick Johnson's one of those. He grew up with Candyrat, started playing fingerstyle, and now he's on the label.
Yeah.
Jacob Sayer, quite a few. Even the older ones that are new, like Sean Hall, and
brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is.
I love that.
But again, that's so unique. Like that's a whole ecosystem of.
I just because we have a 15-year-old that was a guest artist recently, Filippo Mazzotti. Okay. I spoke with his dad because he's so young.
Obviously,
but I released his guest artist performance twice actually now. But yeah, he's known Candyrat his entire life since he was born. So and now I know. So
yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty cool that way.
Definitely. It's just, in history, I suppose labels do get sometimes obviously attributed to like being involved in a in a scene and being important. But I just think Candyrat's just so special in it being really instrumental. Well, no, I'm not trying to do a pun, but instrumental in getting that. It's almost just like packaging it as a thing and going, this is fingerstyle guitar, and then the world were able to see it. And it is that seeing bit that was crucial, wasn't it? I think to sort of
we were blessed because we're outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So UWM, which is the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee, had one of the only fingerstyle master's programs in the U.S. And so we worked with them for John Strobes, who was the fingerstyle professor, who knew Michael Hedges and Leo Kottke. He's done tabs, but we worked really closely with the UWM fingerstyle program. So we did a lot of shows there. They had artists featured there. They did master's classes at the college. So we had all the kids at our house all the time. So when the artists were in town, we were very tight. I mean, John Stropes is still one of my best friends. You know, they cut the program last year. So, and he was at retirement age. So I know it's looking like Berkeley's it now.
Wow, that's so interesting. I didn't realize that bit. So that's obviously because sorry.
Oh no, we met him in, I think it was 2004 before we even started the label. So, all kind of coincidental though. Rob liked Don Ross. I remember, so Rob was a guitar player when he was young, and he just was picking up a new hobby. He found this song by Don Ross called No Goodbyes, which is about his wife Kelly. So Rob's trying to play this song, and I thought it was such a beautiful song. And then we went to see him for our anniversary. That's how much it meant to him. But it's just like all these little pieces, like that we met him, and we set up shows, and then his other business went down, and then it just like feels like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's just like I can't predict the future, but I can stay the day. And I think the blessing I've had is I think because I can mix business with people and the music, it's all part of me so interestedly that I don't know, I just feel like I've not lost the passion for it. I'm always very hopeful. There's always hope. Can't change that you can't change the music industry. Got to go with what it is, right? But what is it truly about? It's about the art. It's about the person that I find you all prodigies, and I've never been. I can play music. I can't write music, and I hear that it's a story you're telling. So how do you, for me as a business person, how do I share that story that the artist is telling through this song? And a lot of times I'm blessed to know the story, because the artist will tell me. And so I can connect to it from their perspective. And then, but for other people, they might hear, I don't know, No Goodbyes, and it relates to their dad that they lost, or even though it was about his ex-wife or his wife that passed, It's just, I've used that song this year. There's no goodbyes. He's in my pocket. I carry Rob around in my pocket because I know exactly how he did things with Candyrat. So I'm always very respectful. Like when I make a decision about something, what would Rob do? Because we always talked about it and made a decision together. So, having been blessed to be, him be my partner in life for 35 years, like I knew him. He was the yin to my yang. Now I just got to figure out my own yang. So, yeah, but doing it with the help of you guys. So, I don't know. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Well, I think, and I feel this is a good way to finish almost. But I think the gratitude actually from players and listeners, but especially speaking as a player, the gratitude felt to you guys for giving a platform and packaging it, for want of a better word, packaging well, you were talking about stories and expressing it, but yeah, you were able to present it to the wider world and even make being a fingerstyle guitarist as a career feasible, really.
Yeah, I know. When I get like, oh, I don't want to do accounting and stuff, I kind of got like that in the beginning because that's not my forte. But now I can connect it to you, with the people, because I'm like, that's my adopted son Gareth, and he needs to pay his rent, so I can like. I don't feel bad. It's just everyone has a job. Even if you're a musician, you have to do logistics of or touring and get in a car and drive 8 hours and have sound check. And there's a lot of logistics that the customers just hear what they hear, but they don't realize all the stuff that goes on behind closed doors, with, even this today, you're doing a podcast, that's an expression of your music and the music industry. And I'm sure there's a lot of work that goes into that, while raising a family and trying your own career. And so.
Yeah, it's crazily it's so interweaved and intertwined. Being a musician and presenting it as a podcast to players, and here talking to you, the people, the person who made that stuff possible. Yeah, it's insanely interconnected. Music is more than just strumming some chords, isn't it? It's about people at the end of the day.
It is. I think all businesses are. I've run other businesses, and it always comes down to the people. I mean, everything's a business. The church is a business, but what is like I said to you yesterday, family comes first, and that's how it is. Like I'm trying to do I don't have this. I've change things a little bit to fit myself because it was fit for Rob. Rob was doing this piece and me doing that part. I had the people, he had the contracts, but now that I'm doing both, like contracts, I talk to the person that I do a new contract with and say, what are your needs? Not just, this is what we do, because some people have full-time jobs. They don't need it for the money. They just want to do it to express their art. But the other people will need it to pay their bills. So how do we work that for everyone? Because it's a team. That's the end of the day. Bunch of people on the same team and doing different work, doing different jobs, but respect and gratitude and, communication. So, yeah.
Perfect.
That's how I run a business. That's all I got.
Holly, that's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. I will never stop thanking you.
Thank you. But I know it is. That's the perfect podcast. It's just sort of expresses the human nature of it all. So thank you, honestly.
I mean, I think I have so many stories specifically about what we did, but all the stories that you have throughout your life, maybe when you started playing guitar when you were 5 and it was something your dad gave you or whatever it may be, all the stories are a human, a thing to you, the artist. So let's share that. And that's how you express yourself. Yeah. It doesn't have to be verbal.
Well, I think as you said earlier, it's it's easier, or it's more, I don't know, it's more universal when it's not verbal, actually, isn't it? And there's no lyrics, there's no words, there's no narrative in that way. Right?
Well, we both speak English, but we do have artists that do not speak English very well, or they're learning English. I'm really a pro at Google Translate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course.
Korean I can handle, but the rest I'm kind of fizzles on.
Wow. But that's the point. Yeah, so many of your artists have been, and actually fingerstyle as a whole is...
Yeah, a lot of new guest artists are, different.
And interestingly, so many other types of music, different nations tend to have quite a, that's German rock, or that's, you know what I mean? Whereas fingerstyle, I would say it tends to be, it's more of a universal thing. I wouldn't be able to pick out I don't know,
I
Korean
know.
finger style from Canadian, or, you know.
Oh no, yeah, it is. It's definitely. I don't know. It's like a style that's become almost a genre.
Yeah,
You know,
I think so.
I don't. I still find myself having to explain it to everyone that isn't a guitarist, that isn't have hasn't been part of Candyrat for a long time, and then they see it and they're like, "I've never seen that before." I mean, 20 years later, I still have that response all the time.
Does that
You know,
energize you? Does that make you go, "Oh, we've still got all these people who don't
you
know
got
it
to
yet"?
see this. You got to, yeah, all the time. Yeah, and I think because it's obviously you probably can tell I like to talk. So I've even some of the customers like talk to me casually. They send me jokes or like I don't know. So it truly feels like a family to me.
Um,
Yeah, I don't want anybody. I mean, I get the competition, but be competitive with yourself because if I'm going to tell an artist anything from my perspective as a fan and a listener, and um, be make it yours.
mhm.
Don't make it sound like Andy. Don't make it sound like Anton. Don't make it sound like whomever. Make it sound like Chris Woods.
That's you talking to me,
And
not
you
telling
too.
everyone to make them sound like Chris Woods. Don't do
Everyone,
that.
everyone. No, not everyone else. Just you.
I see. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And you do. You definitely do. So
Oh, thank you.
you got the memo.
It's yeah. Well, that's what everyone wants to.
That's what you need. Yeah.
And that's what people want to hear. Personally, I never really thought that consciously until being older. I think I
Yeah.
arrived sounding like me, trying to sound like other people, but fortunately, I was bad at sounding like other people, so I ended up sounding like
Uh,
me. Do you know what I mean?
I
But now I'm a bit
exactly.
older. I'm like, yeah, I'm me. That's okay.
I know people try to define my personality, and I'm like, it's just Holly. And then after a few months or something, they'll be like, yeah, I think you are just Holly. Like, there's nobody. Like, I call myself the diva wrangler and the multitasking wizard.
Wow, that's a brand and a half. That is, Holly. I like that. Put that on a business card. That's fantastic.
There we go. I joke a lot. So
That's great. Amazing. All right, Holly. I think, yeah, many words of
lovely.
wisdom have been spoken. So yeah, let's finish it there. Thank you so much.
All right. I'm rooting for everyone.
A huge thank you to Ibanez UK for making this conversation possible.